So
Yeah. So what they had done, they obviously targeted me. I mean, I can't believe that they just go through everybody's Facebook pages. So they obviously targeted me.
who do you think targeted you?
Well, like I say, it's the Israel advocacy movement, but in fact, I can't help thinking that behind them is some kind of Israeli sort of interference there. I mean, I don't know. You know, I'm not some kind of operative. I don't know how these things work, but I think in particular, since the recent exposure by Al Jazeera, I think that puts everything that has happened to me in a different sort of light. But obviously, I was targeted.
What was it that got the gold?
So, in particular, what really got them was this particular post that I had put in my Facebook. I think it was in February. I think it might have been around February the 21st, when I was talking to a number of friends, one of whom actually is an Israeli Zionist and is somebody who I met when I was studying at Goldsmiths. And in fact, I was sharing lessons with him about the Holocaust literatures. And we got very friendly, me and him. And he became a friend of the family. And in fact, was with me much of the time when I was doing a lot of my family research. So if you like, he knew, as did most of the other people I was talking to on this Facebook post, what I was referring. And you know, none of us write in full in Facebook, but what I put, and I actually can't remember exactly what happened, you know, word for word, because to me it wasn't a particularly significant It wasn't particularly significant. But what happened was I was talking to somebody else, so there was a number of us in this conversation, and I was talking about the boycott campaign against Israel and the fact that I supported the boycott of that in the same way as I was an activist and supported the boycott against South African goods. And she said, this woman said, typed, I could never do that because of the debt we owe the Jews. And I know this might sound naive, but I couldn't think what she was talking about. You know, was it some kind of national debt that we owed the Jews, or what it was? So I actually said, what debt do we owe the Jews? You know, I mean, you know, I just it didn't come to me. And she just said the Holocaust. The Holocaust. That was her answer. So what she was saying, in my mind, was basically because the Jews had come through the Holocaust, in a way that gave them a sort of carte blanche for what they could now do. Now, as far as I'm concerned, that's not just not true. It's immoral. It's actually not ethical. So I then said, being a person of, shall we say, many heritages, you know, I am Jewish, yes, I'm Jewish, but I'm also of African descent. I've also got a lot of other bits and pieces there, but, you know, let's forget it. And what I was pointing out was, I come from a heritage where both peoples have been, at different times and in different ways, victims and perpetrators, as we all do. And that actually, if we keep holding on either to our victimhood or the fact that we've been perpetrators, we cannot move on into a more sort of humanistic way of seeing things, that history only informs us a certain way. Anyway, I said it in a shorthand way, I said it in a clumsy way. I forgot to put one word, amongst. So I said something like that many Jews were the chief financiers of the slave trades. I should have put many Jews were amongst the chief financiers of the slave trade. I should have also put that at a certain time, in a certain place, in a certain part of the Caribbean, Jews were significantly involved in the slave trade, but that period didn't last, and that Jews were no more culpable than others within that trade. Now, yeah, I should have put all that,